But here we go. Older, wiser, and probably, if it's
好，
possible,
这
a
是
little
温布
better.
顿网球公开赛，
And
现在是费德勒对战纳达尔。
And if you've seen any of the footage from that great match, you'll know that they look like boys then, that they look like men now.
费德勒先拿首分，15比0。
Well, he lost the last point they played here, so that'll be a relief for him.
哦，费德勒出界，纳达尔得分。 15比15。 好，费德尔追回
，That's the serve
，30比
we've got to
15。
look out for in the juice box. You see where Nadal's positioning is. He's a long way
好，现
back.
在由费德
That
勒
really
再次
does
拿
open up the
回罚
angles
球
for
权。
Federer to serve out wide, even serve and volley.
纳达尔出界，40比15。 费德尔出
Very
界，
much.
40-30.
哦，纳达尔触网，费德勒领先得分拿下这局。
First game.
Rafa Nadal first #1 after the 2008 final. Real changing of the guard, that match. Back in 2008, Roger Federer first at the top of the game as #1 in 2004. 10-3 Nadal in Grand Slams. That's more domination than you might imagine. 6 of them were at the French Open. The only time Federer has ever beaten Nadal at a Grand Slam. Outside of Wimbledon, the Australian Open, 2017.
好，现在我们来到第二局。我们由纳达尔
Rafael Nadal to serve.
发球。费德尔触网，纳达尔得分
I
15
think
比
That's another important fact today is how well can Federer handle the Nadal serve, how quickly he gets into the points, especially on Nadal's second serve, because that's where he has to take advantage if he wants to stand a chance.
发球失误。
Led for service.
It's a bit quiet in here. Whole centre court's a bit hushed.
Rain on.
30 love. Love.
发球失误。纳达尔得分，拿下第二局，目前1-1。
Just the first probings in this match.
It's their 5th ever.
好，现在第3局，费德勒发球。
Semi-final. Nadal won the 4.
15-0，费德勒拿下第1分。
So that's the tactic we're talking about. Nadal a long way back, Federer able to get in tight. If Federer continues to do that, it'll be interesting to see whether Nadal changes his return position.
Oh, 30-0.
Really more speed.
还是厉害的一球。
The Federer ground strokes. Very familiar faces by now in his box.
纳达尔出界，费德勒赢，40-0。费德勒拿下此局，目前2-1结束这一场。
Federer leads by 2 games to 1 in the first set.
Just the 7 minutes played here. Both these players have a losing record against the man who waits them in the final. There'll be no thoughts of what's coming on Sunday. No particular fatigue for any of these players so far. Djokovic will probably want some titanic 5-setter that will virtually disable these two in terms of their effectiveness for the final. That's happened before. It happened when Novak and Rafa played a beautiful match. At this point last year, Anderson and Isner had played each other to a standstill. None of that this year. Boris, they've been dominant, haven't they? These three, once again, it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see that these great legends, goats of the game, find a way to push each other, stay the course, get better with every year. It seems like the next generation, whoever's behind them, doesn't seem to close the gap.
Did you just call them goats?
3 of them.
What's that?
The greatest of all time. It's not an animal, it's just the highest title in any sport.
Couple of goats going head-to-head. I like that. No breaks. It's 1-2.
好，第4场，现在由纳达尔发球。
Just coming back in after the first semi-final. Had half an hour off.
They didn't have that before, Tim, right? This is new this year, or they've had it last year already, the gap between first and semi-final?
Yeah, a little bit more precise, I think, now.
Let's for service.
Well, certainly in the query match with Nadal, he was very anxious to know the exact timings, and 4 o'clock seemed like a good cut-off for the handshake of the previous match.
失误。费德勒触网，纳达尔拿下1分，现在15-0。
It's also a lot of build-up for both players, so mentally they need to be stimulated. It's a long wait. It's a long 48 hours since they played last time, so their engine can't be yet at 100%.
发球失误。
Federer almost slipped away, but was able to manage and keep his
现在平
balance.
手哦。
15 all.
Hitting a beautiful short backhand slice.
Stopped on the line, didn't it, as well? I think we might better see the mark over there. It's a shame that the ball stops when it hits the lines.
Let's for service.
发球失误。又触网。费德勒失误，纳达尔得分，现在30-15。
Coach Francisco Roig has been talking about Rafa Nadal and how he's been playing with precision, with intensity and fluidity, but also how he changes his stance on serve according to the surface, just tiny alterations, specifically for grass court play.
现在40-15。
That's precise.
40-18.
让对手没办法及时跑。
Give Nadal a short one on the forehand. And he says, thank you.
40-30。
40-30.
哦，差一点。
Game Nadal.
纳达尔拿下这一局，比数2-2。
2 games
His
all.
dad, Sebastian. Roger's dad here as well. Must be a gift to be able to take your practice improvements right out onto the court. Mentioned before, Tim, both these players.
好，现在换费德勒发球。
Without doubt, you have to.
哦，
Hitting low.
费德勒拿
It's the
下。
serve you mentioned, the short wide one. See how many free points he gets before Nadal changes his position.
哦，来不及。30-0。
30 low.
Both players been very efficient early on their service games, only giving up a couple of points each. Both doing a good job of dominating the points.
Let's for service.
哦，
40 love.
好，纳达尔出界，费德勒又加1分，40比0。出网。可惜，40比15，纳达尔得分。
I'd say that's the shot Nadal improved the most. That quick backhand now, cross court.
可惜。费德勒拿下比数3比2。
Leads by 3 games to 2. First set.
Fascinating quarter of an hour, just the opening salvo in this second
Yeah,
semi-final at
中场休息。
Wimbledon. Roger Federer has certainly added to his game over the years, but so has Rafa Nadal. Boris Becker has just mentioned how his backhand has increased in its potency over the years, but certainly his serve has as well, Tim and Boris. Have a quick look at this. I mean, it's got a few bits and bobs on it, but it's the Nadal serve alteration. Francisco Roy, coach, talking about this. Now, last year is in the red, and those trails really just an illustration. So in the red on the right, in the top right, so at the hit point it was slower. This is during the whole tournament. Pre-bounce slower, post-bounce obviously slower, and at the returner significantly slower. So whatever he's done, Tim, he's quickened it up. I can't speak for the accuracy, but Nadal's serve has certainly looked more effective.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you mentioned Francisco Roy talking about how he positions his feet, I think you know, now he's actually hitting the serve a little bit flatter. On some of the other surfaces, you feel like he's coming around the side of the ball to create that spin, a little bit more curve on the ball. But this one, as you see by that flight on Hawkeye, much flatter, going through the court a little bit quicker, and in percentage terms, by the time it's getting to the returner, it's probably 20–25% faster.
It is.
紧接着来到第6局，
Something that we'll continue to watch. The Nadal serve now at 2-3.
现在由纳达尔发球。15比0，费德勒触网。 30比0。
30 love.
费德勒出界，纳达尔得分40比
That's
0。
the first serve that does the damage. Roger doesn't really get into the return games at all.
这场费德勒的状况不太好。
Game Nadal.
纳达尔拿下这一场，比数3比3。
3 games all. First set.
One thing you can never really measure, but you can feel, and the whole tournament has, and these champions that I'm sure in the commentary books have understood and perceived, is confidence. And he's had it. There's been a presence around Nadal during this tournament. He's won 17 straight matches across the Italian Open in Rome.
好，现在换第7局，现在由费德勒发球。
12 French, so Nadal in supreme form.
纳达尔出界，费德勒
Talk
得
about
分。
confidence. I think
这
there's a
场15比
confidence
0。
in Rafa's game, but there's also confidence in his body. He had some big challenges early on in the year, but feeling in very good shape.
纳达尔又出界，比数30比
In
0。
fact, on Nadal's way winning his 12th, he beat Federer in the semi-final. In straight sets.
哦， 不算。纳达尔出界，40比0。
A first victory for Nadal over Federer in some 5.5 years. And that will amaze people.
Hadn't beaten him since Australian Open semi-final in 2014.
发球失误。
Federer leads by 4 games to 3, first set.
It's a clinical start from both players. Federer's only dropped 3 points in 4 service games. Nadal only 2 points in 3 service games. Are they both going to be able to maintain that as we move towards the business end of this first set?
Statue of Fred Perry out there, always a good place to get the shot. A winner of so many major championships, 10 majors, 8 Grand Slams, 2 Pro Slams, and a brilliant table tennis player as well. This is all part of the new development. Now, this camera whizzes along at about 30 miles an hour, and it's on a great big zip wire, and it gives us new shots of this wonderful centre court. And, the development around this club goes on and on. That's the members' balcony there that you can see, and 1 or 2 people from the Royal Box will pop out there, take a break, go back in. These courts on the front, they used to be so the focus of the championships, but now it's just developing into a much bigger space. Like over the road, for instance, Church Road into Wimbledon Park Golf Club. It's the next major phase of the development, so good luck with all that, Tim.
Indoor courts between now and then across on Somerset Road, they're going to be demolished fairly soon after this championship. It's probably a 18-month to 2-year project to knock those down, build 6 indoor, 6 outdoor, and a large underground car park.
好，现在换纳达尔发球。
They're playing with new balls, so everything's a bit quicker now. Federer had a shot.
纳达尔得分15比0。
Didn't use it.
发球失误。
It's a 25-second rule for the server. Nadal is always pushing the envelope.
纳达尔出界，费德勒得分15比15。
15 all.
Something's about to happen. I don't quite know what it is in this match.
It's been pretty cagey, hasn't it? But you'd think if Federer got a second serve here at 15 all, might like to try and take a chance.
Unfortunate with the net cord, but Federer's taken full advantage.
罚球失误。
Didn't really do enough with the return.
费德勒出界，纳德尔
Was it
得
the
分
serve?
，30比
Yeah, I think
30。
you've got to give credit to Nadal there. Decent second serve, really dictated with his first forehand to get Federer on the defensive.
发球出网，发球再一次。纳达尔出界。 费德勒得分，30比40。
Of the backhand error.
Looking to be very aggressive in the rally there and overhitting the backhand. Needs to find the first serve.
哦，费德勒失误，纳达尔得分，再次平手，40比40。
The footwork from Rafa Nadal, the slices from Federer. This is the dance between these two. Beautiful to watch. Nadal very keen to hit forehands. That hasn't changed in 11 years.
Oh.
Advantage Nadal.
Federer reading the serve again well, returning well. Not taking advantage now. You will see Tony Nadal flew in last night, supporting his famous nephew.
Now 4比4，
That thing is whipped.
纳达尔
Three very
That's
strong
absolutely-
points from Nadal from break point.
4 games all. First sets.
Finding the targets with the
波回
first
放
serve and then really dictating with the forehand. Now he would like to try and get stuck into a Federer service game at 4-all.
费德勒发球，
Keeping Federer waiting. He's got a full complement of ticks and twitches at this point. Brisk
15比
action
0
here.。
费德勒拿首分。
Didn't find his timing on the returns yet.
$15比15。
15 all. Let's for service.
Federer really mentioned his serve picking up in the Nishikori match, which was the quarterfinal, and he really started where he left off on Wednesday evening.
失误，纳达尔得分30-30。
Look from Roger, the umpire questioning the call, but no challenge. He does have an awful record in challenges throughout the championship.
40-30.
费德勒得分40-30。费德勒拿下此局。
It's a challenge, but both men are walking in the sunshine to the changeover. Ball is good. Still no breaks, just the one break point. Well saved by Rafa in his previous service game. He will serve to stay in this first set. Roger Federer was talking before this match, Boris, about just remembering to stay calm and how it's okay just to get the ball back and to neutralize opponents. He does that, takes the pace off as well as puts it on as well as anybody. The trouble is if you just knock it back to Nadal, he can take control of the rally. So there's the line that he has to walk, isn't it?
No, very much so. I was really intrigued how calm he stayed when he walked on the court very much in his zone. He really didn't acknowledge the crowd too much, didn't acknowledge his opponent either. Just at the net, a bit of a handshake, and he's altogether has a very calm demeanor because he knows actually the things are heating up. But he's his best when he lets his tennis do the talking and when he doesn't get too emotional.
You coached against him with Novak Djokovic. I believe you won 6 Grand Slams with Novak when you were coaching against Roger Federer. It's quite a challenge, isn't it?
No, that's right. We had him in 2 Wimbledon finals, and the key was always, to get him on the run, because when he's running, he loses a bit of his balance, but that's easier said than done. And obviously find a way to return the Roger Federer serve as well. So.
这局由纳达尔发球。
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the same goes for Rafael Nadal.
15-0，纳达尔得分。
15 love. Mr. Nadal is challenging the call on the left far sideline. The ball's got out.
First double of the match.
15-15。
all.
Only
Mr.
11
Nadal has one challenge
for the
remaining.
tournament. This, the 6th match for both players, of course.
$30-15，纳达尔得分。
30-15.
No, it's not the time to be reading. Put it down. Got you this ticket.
40-15，纳达尔得分。
40-15.
Umpire said it was very close. Must have been long. Rafa believes him.
Nadal should have checked that.
Oh.
It was in.
纳达尔拿下此局，比数5-5。
Mr. Federer is challenging the ball on the left center service line.
Safe to say they're both hitting it close to the lines. I think this one just caught the line from Nadal.
Game Nadal.
There's a statistic about challenges by
5
Roger
games
Federer at Wimbledon.
sets.
He's now including
Federer
this
has 2 challenges
3
remaining.
to 16.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You have been burying your head in books and
由
readouts
费德
and
勒发
research.
球，
I'm prepared.
费德勒得分15-0。
15 love.
费德勒再次拿下此分30-0。
You get this far out of court on the forehand, you've got to make sure you do some damage. Federer a little bit lucky with the drive volley. Nadal not able to do more with the pass.
费德勒又拿下一分40-0。
40 love.
And another
感觉
40
他很无
love.
法相信，
Easy hold by the great Swiss. And that's his wife.
Oh, 费德勒拿下这一局，比数6-5。
Federer leads by 6 games to 5. First set.
Still no breaks in the sunshine here on centre court. It's 6-5 to Roger Federer, this hugely anticipated match. Now, Roger Federer was talking about neutralising opponents, and you often do that with a slice or a chip. But the actual statistics on Federer here, the return spins that he's playing with today. Previous rounds, of course, different opponents, different setup. Rafa's not down the other end. But in the previous rounds, top spinning at 59%. Today, he's trying to come over the return. The slice today, 1 in 10, or just above 1 in 10. He's trying to come over the ball, and it's not working particularly at the moment.
Not working particularly well, but I don't think he's really had that many opportunities. Obviously, when you're playing the slice, it gives Nadal more time to get round and hit his forehand and really be aggressive.
So is he trying to avoid the Rafa forehand by hitting the return?
Well, because he'll hit it harder with the topspin, he can get it through the court, get to potentially Nadal's backhand more easily. I think the way this set's unfolding, it would be fitting if it did go to the tiebreak.
Well, hitting over also means he's more aggressive. The mindset is I have to hit over the ball and put some pressure on the opponent.
15-0，纳达尔发球。
15 love.
30-0，纳达尔得分。
30-love.
Oh, 40-0。
40-love.
发球失误。40-15，纳达尔拿下这一场。
40-15.
好，我们继续。然后触网，费德勒得分，40-30。
If they are going to go to a breaker, Federer would have rather made Nadal work a little bit, which is what he's doing here, even if the tiebreak's only postponed for a point. Another larruped forehand and we could be back at deuce.
Deuce.
And that's what it is. Oh, this has come out of nowhere. This is now a battle for Nadal. At 40-love.
But Federer was able to hit over the return 3 times, put pressure on him right away. Took advantage of the short ball.
Got the shot that he wanted.
Got the shot that he wanted, but when he was trying to hit that forehand down the line to Nadal's backhand, his body weight was just falling away.
Just keeps it calm, cool.
After 3/4 of an hour at this semi-final, it is a tiebreak.
拿下这一局，比数6-6。
6 games all. First set tiebreak.
Now, the last time they played on this court, they played 2 of the finest tiebreaks of all time. Federer won them both, 7-5 and 10-8. Tim Henman has done some extensive research.
Well, 39 matches, they've played 21 tiebreaks. Nadal up 11-10.
Tiebreak. 费德勒发球。
Let's second service.
has not made that. That is some amazing court speed. Federer followed this in, the drop volley, beautiful.
1-0, Nadal.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Unbelievable control at the end of the run there, and you sometimes sense that Federer thinks, God, does Nadal only make that shot against me?
好，现在是1-1，费德尔得分。
You can see the shackles from both players are slowly coming off. They're freeing themselves from all the tension, all the build-up. They're letting loose.
Whoa. 纳达尔得分，现在比数2-1。
And the importance of this first set, even in a five-setter where there is more time to recover, illustrated by the fact that the winner of the first set of their matches has won 31 out of the 39 contests.
Decent front runners.
费德尔得分。
Statistics don't
纳
lie.
达尔发球。
2-all.
But this tiebreaker is very much nose to nose.
Nadal 纳达尔得分，比数3-2。
3-2, Nadal.
The defensive skills of Nadal, not only on the return of serve, just to float that one deep. And big forehand from Federer, and he's able to use his left-handed forehand and loop it back. Asking Federer to hit one more shot.
Let's for service.
哦，纳达尔出界，费德勒得分，比数3-3。
That's out on the baseline, looking for the hand from the baseline judge. And out it came, and this was a controlled volley from Federer,
3-all.
keeping it to what is still the weaker side.
It was a good return again from Federer. It was a decent serve from Nadal. Federer was able to come over the top of the backhand, turn defence into attack and get up forward to the net.
For a second time, Federer is equalizing a mini break for the Spaniard.
哦，费德勒得分，比数4-3。
And comes over that backhand return. Gets to the rack of backhand. And then this forehand.
4-3.
First time he's been ahead in the break.
Nadal likes very much the first serve and then the forehand right away. Federer is able to hit with his returns onto the Nadal backhand and sets him up nicely.
That's a big point. That forehand had to be played just low enough to make it difficult, and choosing to go to the Spaniard's forehand.
费德勒再次拿下1分，6-3。
Couple of timely first serves there from Federer.
6-3. Federer.
Roger still very calm.
现在由纳达尔
This
发
area at
球。
least. Very focused.
Oh, 恭喜费德勒拿下这场。
51 minutes of fascinating tennis. It's one set to the older man on the tie break. Came from behind to win it 7-3.